Another episode of Andy's Self-Help. So as you can see, I got a sweet new backdrop so you don't have to see my silly little storage room anymore. And I know there's only like 3 people on this channel, but let's face it, it's not the best background to see. So this is white here. I'm gonna get better lighting soon, and then I'm gonna try to project some stuff onto the screen in the back, or maybe just hang some shit up. I don't know. But I want to kind of make it personal. But right now, this is a start. As you can see, I also got a lav mic, so I don't have a mic sitting on my desk over here. And so I'm just trying to improve the channel as I go. I know I have a small amount of followers, but I really want to make this something that I can be proud of. So on top of those 2 new things, I am sorry to not make a video last week. Once again, I know I have a small amount of followers, but if you missed out on it, I'm sorry. I'm going to make 2 this week to make up for it. I think that really kind of covers it, just to remind everybody that I do have a podcast, Chatty Patties, Patties. Same thing, just me sitting down, rambling, trying to break stuff down for myself and others, hopefully helping you in the process. And then I also have an email for that podcast in case you ever want to talk to me privately about something, whatever it is, I'm all ears, chattypattiespodcast@gmail.com. With that aside, hey man, let's move on to today's video. We are talking about narcissism and you. Now, narcissism is something that everyone possesses, okay? It's kind of like the 7 deadly sins, okay? We as humanity have made up the 7 deadly sins. Everyone has a part of the 7 deadly sins. Same thing as everyone has narcissism within themselves. But there's a difference between narcissism and narcissist, okay? Donald Trump, narcissist. Person who's pepping himself up at the gym and he hasn't really ever worked out before so he can believe he can do it. Narcissism, creating a false identity until you've proven yourself to know you can do it, but then you don't have to lie to yourself anymore. But yeah, someone like Donald Trump with hypomania, thinks very highly of himself, inflated sense of ego. He's probably really fragile on the inside at one point or another, but he's lied to himself so long that he's taken on this personality, and that's a narcissist, which is an inflated sense of self, thinking you're better than others, thinking you're smarter than the rest, and thinking that everyone else is a pipsqueak. And because of this, it's just a false image. They're not actually living who they really are. They're just trying to lie to others. And the problem is when you do it long enough, it's hard to revert back and become who you really are. And you actually become that person. And it's interesting to see because it's such a weird disorder. But anyway, narcissism is something we all possess. Now, as I said with that little gym example, that's one. But let's go to narcissism is pepping yourself up by giving yourself false confidence, false bravado, so you can make it through some task that you don't believe you have the skills to do. The best part is, though, if you lie to yourself long enough and keep up with it, you'll eventually strengthen what is needed to fill in those gaps in this personality space, and you'll actually become that little bit of narcissism that you were loaning yourself out to. So example, if you go to the gym long enough, you've talked yourself into it in the car every day, dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm finally gonna run 3 miles. I can do this. I'm a winner, but you're eating a cheeseburger, a whole milkshake, you know, all that. You're lying to yourself, you know? You can do it, and you know you can do it, but you're not looking forward to it. You're not ready for it. You really don't believe you can do it, but you're pepping yourself up. So it's kind of a 50-50. You're promoting yourself to get in there and do it. Therefore, you're telling yourself and believing that you can do it. Then once you get in there, it's hard, you're sweating, you're dying, and then you leave and you're like, holy shit, I completed that. I didn't think I could do it, but I pepped myself up. I really might have thought that I could do it, and here I am. I'm out here, I sweat balls, I'm tired, I'm about to puke, but I did it. That false sense of confidence, that false sense of bravado, helps you achieve the goal. And if you do that long enough every day, every week, you'll eventually realize that you can go beyond that. And once you go beyond that, that original goal is nothing but a past fragment, okay? It's baby's work now. It's child's play because you've surpassed it, which means that narcissism that you had to give yourself has actually helped you become better. And that's what, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's technically confidence and it's technically pride. But the difference is confidence is natural. It's where you really believe you can do it. Where narcissism is thinking highly of yourself to be able to do something that you didn't think that highly of yourself before on. You know, I'll give you another example, which is, you know, actually I just did this a second ago. I'm kind of rambling here. But yeah, another, you know what, fuck it. Another example of narcissism is believing that you are the antagonist or protagonist of your own story, meaning of your life. Now, I want you to break that down because everyone really does this in a way, because think about it. It's just you. People come and go, friends come and go, relationships come and go, jobs come and go. Everything comes and go except for you. Until you get married or have kids or whatever, or you've had friends for 10 years. But on average, people come and go. You always change, but you are always there. Like, you are stuck with you forever, which means, yeah, the center point of your story, your life story, would be you. Even if that you is, trying to live off others or give to others more than you give to yourself, either way, you're still thinking you're a do-gooder. That in its own right is narcissism, because you're thinking so highly of yourself and you think you're so important that you're really going to make a difference on the planet. And some people do, some people don't. Now, remember, that's not a bad thing, because would you really get out of bed if you knew with a shadow of a doubt that you're never going to amount to anything? You're just going to be a cog in the machine, work a 9 to 5, and then die one day with no real purpose, and you were just kind of there as an NPC character? No, you'd probably kill yourself. We all probably would. Be like the little lemmings and walk off the edge together, man? But you have to convince yourself that you are important and you are worth something. And the best part is, if you keep that narcissistic act up, and that is narcissistic, okay? If you keep that up and work at it and use this false confidence that you're pretending to have until proven otherwise, where you're kind of all over the TV, you're all over the internet, you're all over online forums, Reddit, Facebook, anything. When you become a global phenomenon, then that narcissism work to your favor to make you become the idol, icon, whatever that you dreamed you could be. And so being narcissistic is not, narcissist is bad, because now you're owning it instead of utilizing it as a tool. And that's what you have to remember. Narcissism is just a tool. Now, I think I said at the beginning of this video about the 7 deadly sins. We all are made up of the 7 deadly sins. This is the reason I brought up narcissism. Is the 7 deadly sins is, you may look at one and be like, it's not really me, but it is. And this is what I'm getting with narcissism. You may think, oh, I'm not narcissistic, but you are. You're being blind, you're being ignorant, and you have a lot of naivety, but you do have it, and you can't deny it once you really face up to it. And so, I don't know, man. I made this video because I've been talking to people lately who are narcissistic. They're trying to believe that they're better than everyone else, and they're just trying to convince themselves instead of going out to actually challenge themselves. That bothers me. And so I wanted to make this video to address that, yes, you can be narcissistic about yourself, because it might just help you become a better person. It might just help you strengthen yourself. But overall, man, it's just something that you really need to harness. And realize it's not a bad thing to be full of yourself every once in a while, because that's how you're going to achieve results. Because if you're not full of yourself and you don't think you can do it, you can't rely on somebody else to do that for you. You have to be your own cheerleader. And cheerleaders fill you with confidence and words of wisdom and affirmation and everything that peps you up. Sometimes nobody's there to do that for you, so you have to do it for yourself. Even if you don't believe it, you're giving yourself false confidence, which inflates your ego for the moment, which is kind of like steroids in its own right, which is narcissism, because you're thinking highly of yourself when you don't really mean it. Therefore, it's just that. And remember, it's okay. Utilize it, my friends. Utilize it to achieve your goals, because I know you can do it. Everyone can. Be full of yourself. Be cocky. Go own the room. Own yourself and act like you're fucking worth something. Because one day you just might be, and right now I think you are. But just like anything else on this planet, just like all of us, we're all diamonds in the rough, and we have to dig ourselves out and polish this bitch off. You know what I'm saying? We have to prove that we're beautiful, shining, worthy minerals that have a true value. Okay? And we all do. So get up. Believe in yourself, even if you have to lie for just 30 seconds to 30 minutes to a fucking month if needed, to a couple years, whatever it takes to get you to that next level, so you can wake up one day and say, damn, I'm proud of myself. But hey, man, I'm going to cut that short. Narcissism, utilize it. It's not bad. Believing yourself, even if you have to fake it till you make it, because once you make it, you'll know that believing yourself was the correct thing to do and that you can actually do it. Be a fucking hero, man. Be the hero of your story or the antagonist, whatever works for you, all right? But remember, I do have my podcast, Chatty Patties. There's also the email, chattypattiespodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to have another video up this week. If anybody has time to comment, let me know if this lav mic is shit. If so, I got to get another one. Tell me how the backdrop looks. Other than that, thanks for listening.